Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And before I start talking about the Spark token, I want to tell you that I reached out to Bitrue and asked if they had any plans on making any changes to trading, buying, selling the digital asset XRP. And no, there are no changes planned. So I think Bitrue is going to be a very reliable place to trade, buy, and sell the digital asset XRP. Okay, today, just a few hours ago, they did let everybody know that FLR, which is the Spark token, is going to start trading on Bitrue starting January 6th. So some exchanges are going to front run, and they will do so as an IOU. Bitrue will begin this trading as an XRP pair. They will airdrop your initial FLR distribution on December 30th so that you can start trading on the 6th of January. But there are some things I need to point out, two important things. And one is that the FLR trading will only be available to users who have passed KYC verification, that is know your customer, and FLR or Spark trading will not be available to US users until the official Sparks distribution, which is expected to happen around Q1 or Q2 of 2021. And boy, I'll tell you, XRP is just still in the news big time. This is SBI with a brand new poignant news release. It's a recap of a research paper that was done by a prestigious fellow at the Future Emergence Center. This is part of Nomura Securities, legendary. Before I jump into that, I want to read you just the last sentence of this release. And it says that the group, which means the SBI Holdings Group, will continue to actively support the activities of Ripple to expand its use in Japan and overseas. This paper, the purpose of this paper was to update the Japanese institutional investor, and it is all about the SEC suing Ripple. It is the stance that the SEC has taken, it's the claim, it's the reaction from Ripple, and also the future outlook. There is nothing bad in this paper at all. And I just recapped on Twitter, and I think it's really the whole basis of this is that this gentleman, Mr. Sadakazu Osaki, who has a real keen specialty in securities market regulation, wrote that XRP is a cryptographic asset under the funds settlement law. It's in Japan, and does not fall under securities interpreted by the Financial Instruments and Exchange Act. And the second part of that is, to this point, the proceedings between the SEC and Ripple will not have any effect on this. So in other words, Japan is not going to change any of its laws because of what the SEC is attempting to do. Now, when we talk about the SEC, this is an interesting video that was put out from the Economic Club of New York. It was actually uploaded in November. It came to me by Lewis_C. I want to thank him very much for it, because he's right. At the 45-minute mark, just for a couple of minutes, it's very interesting to hear Jay Clayton talk about how his staff has hit this on the head. You know, everybody's blaming Jay Clayton, and yeah, the buck stopped with him, and he was definitely the person who put through that suit. I mean, he had to okay it. But as I have pointed out in the last two videos, when we really see who is driving this cyber group of investigators and attorneys that are taking it to the mat, it is definitely this Christina Littman. So I just want you to know that she was advising Clayton. She is the head of this group that is going after all of the crypto projects that they feel are running outside of their their ramp, their walkways. What am I trying to say? Their rails. So you're gonna hear when he talks about it that Clayton believes this long-standing 80-year plus rule still applies, which is just, I think, a little crazy. And I think a lot of people are going to find it's also a little crazy because it needs to be updated. And should this Howey test now become the Ripple test, that's very, very possible. But you're going to see that he doesn't want to allow this cryptocurrency space to run out of his control. It's very, very obvious that he wants to exert, well, now he's gone, but he really felt the need to exert his power in this space. So I just think this is really worth listening to. Let's have a listen to the question that he gets.
As Harold suggested, and let's get to crypto. One of the maybe at the not the cutting edge, but the bleeding edge of fintech innovation during your time period at the SEC has been cryptocurrencies. Uncharted territory, which you've navigated with both those goals, investor protection, but fostering innovation in mind. Tell us a little bit about that journey as you've been chairman of the SEC, and give us some sense of where you think it goes from here.
Well, thank you. A lot of that goes to the women and men on our staff who hit this head on. But look, when we arrived 3 years ago, the promise of this technology was becoming readily apparent. Unfortunately, the promise got channeled into an area where we have long-standing regulations that have worked really well. And that is that you can't make a widespread public offering of securities without going through the SEC registration process. And ICOs and the like essentially flaunted that. And look, I don't blame people for being motivated to try and take a new technology and raise money using it, but I was not going to be the chair that threw the 33 Act out after 85 years of success. So there you have it. But that said, incredibly powerful technology for the financial sector. I mean, it's technology that greatly reduces the costs of verification. It's technology that greatly reduces the costs of information transmission. And it's technology that can drive some of the inefficiencies out of our system. So that's where we are today. Comply with the securities laws, but push the technology forward. And the area that is of particular interest to me and many of those regulators that Gary mentioned is the payment system. We all recognize that our payment system is inefficient. Domestically, it's inefficient. Internationally, it's extremely inefficient. So if we don't work and use technology to address those inefficiencies, the market is going to do it for us. And I think we'll like the outcome much better if we as regulators proactively enter that payment space, ensuring that all the time proven safeguards around AML, bank secrecy, anti-terrorism, and the like are there. So I see significant promise going forward, Glenn.
It's very clear he wants to be in the middle of regulating the payment sector in the United States. I was surprised. I'm sure you are too. All right, Santander. Are they really closing down the RippleNet blockchain app in February called the OnePay FX? Well, to get to the bottom of it, I called Santander, and I am sorry that you can't hear my bad Spanish. Only Patreon members will be able to listen to my bad Spanish because I did upload the phone call that took place to really understand what's happening. And yes, indeed, it is going to close in February. What it is that they're doing is revamping their whole system. They're changing everything. So this particular app is not going to be continued. They're going to take another new kind of technology, she said, but she didn't know what that technology was. And it will be something that works with a card. So it sounds like a push technology with probably a Visa or MasterCard. So if you are just getting anybody who's talking about that, and I know how sometimes those stories can just go wild, this is a system-wide change, and it's not just pinpointing or targeting Ripple. This is something that they are doing company-wide. All right, so let's see. I want to really point out someone who is really helping me a lot, and that's Annaliz. And she is the only person that I have given a moderator, a mod status to help fight these really annoying imposters that are in the YouTube channel. So she has the ability now, as well as myself, to go in and get rid of those and report them, because there are just it's just annoying and terrible. So I want you to, if you will, for me, please, just blow up her Twitter page with subscribes. I would just love that, because she's doing it for free. She offered, and I really got to the point where I feel like I need some help, because I go to sleep and I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm getting rid of them, and then I'm spending way too much time in the morning after I wake up to get rid of them. I mean, you just wouldn't believe it's well over an hour of work every day just getting rid of the imposters in the channel. So I so much am thankful for her help. And she is at X12ANNALIZ. So X12 Annaliz. Just go and blow up her Twitter for me and tell her thank you. Yeah, we all need a little help from our friends once in a while. All right, everybody, we're jumping to some fluff. I want to talk about the Tokara Islands. They consist of this chain of 12 small islands here that are south of Kagoshima. Let me just show you with my mouse. This is Tokyo up here. So that gives you the scale and how far it is. It's way, way south. It's down there near Okinawa. And it is just, of the 12 islands, only 7 of them are permanently inhabited. And there's less than 50 residents on this island right there. But it is really in the news today. At 2:49 p.m. this afternoon, the Mount Otake, which is located on the one island called Suwano Seijima, erupted. And it's a very active volcano. It has been erupting for probably 2,000 years, if not longer. And it's always got this level of warning, but today the level was raised to a 3 because it's getting very active again. This is the first time it has erupted since 2009. And the islands are quite interesting in this part of Japan. I just wanted to show you what an aerial view from the Coast Guard of the caldera. So it's a pretty big, huge volcano. It comes up from the sea. And there is a regular service, not a regular service, but there is service to the island through a ferry. It is not on a regular schedule, I should say. That Mount Otake is about 796 meters high, or 2,612 feet above sea level. And yeah, it's very, very active. I think when it did erupt in 2009, it actually had a total of 216 different eruptions. So when it gets active, it gets active. Now, in those islands, I could talk about many, many things. Like here we have the peacock butterfly, which is very special to those islands. It's so beautiful with this iridescent color, don't you think? And I could also tell you about the famous American poet, Gary Snyder, who is now living in San Francisco. He's 90 years old. He did win the Pulitzer Prize for Poetry in 1975. His life is most interesting. I am so intrigued about not only the work that he's done, but most interesting. If you want to explore about somebody who's had a really interesting life, this would be one person that would get your attention. He used to live on that island. Yeah, I'm sure. I would love to read some of the poetry that he created when he was living there. And then also, too, I could talk about the small pony that's native to those islands. And I thought, yeah, that's what I want to talk about, because they are very endangered, but thankfully now protected. At one point in 1953, there was only 43 that remained. Then of those 43, they moved 14 into a breeding program, and they have been able to raise the population of this breed, which is called the Tokara pony or Tokara horse, depending on technically it's a pony because it still falls below the 15 hands, which is how you measure a horse. The pony was introduced to a larger Tokara horse, so the original pony is all gone. That wasn't crossbred with the horse. The original pony was only about 10 hands high, very, very small, like the size of a Shetland pony. And then when they bred with the program into using the horse, it got to about 12 hands. So I don't know if you know what a Hackney pony is, or a what's another horse that is not pony size, but not full-fledged horse. It falls within that 14 and a half to 15 hands high. Well, anyway, I'm getting way off track here. The population has been able to now increase to 107, and there is strong protection in place. And I think that, yes, it's still endangered, but there are a lot of caring people trying to maintain the breed. And what I want to show you is that it has a unique fluffy mane. This is the forelock, and then this is the mane that's on the neck. And you can see here, this is a young foal, and that fluffy mane stays fluffy even into adulthood. This is an adorable picture, isn't it? So I just wanted to give you an extra fluffy fluff tonight. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.